These colorful little critters are vampire crabs, and there are more than 40 different species currently known to science, 9 of which I'm currently keeping, breeding, and studying. While vampire crabs make awesome low maintenance pets, there are a few important things you should know about them before you go ahead and buy some, because they might not be exactly what you expected. So in this guide, I'm going to be covering 2 of the 3 most common questions I get in my inboxes. But first, if you're looking for a full care guide on Geosesama species, you can check out my ebook, website, or the mountain of videos I have on this channel. Why don't my crabs come out? With the exception of how to care for vampire crabs, this is probably the second most important thing you need to consider before buying some: how much time they actually spend hiding. And a lot of people naturally overestimate how much they'll see their vampire crabs because of YouTube channels just like mine. I get a lot of good footage of my crabs out and about foraging, fighting, and everything else they do. But the reality of the situation is that I have my camera set up and ready to record the second that I see my crabs doing something interesting. And I also spend a ton of time watching and waiting for them to come out so I can record some content to make videos, which ultimately gives the impression that they are super active and a lot more visible than they really are. While Geosesama species are micro-predators that love to hunt, they are also quite close to the bottom of the food chain, so they have evolved to be super skittish and wary of their surroundings, which is why they dart away pretty quickly whenever they see movement. They are also mostly nocturnal and usually start to come out at the end of the day to forage during the night. So the reality is you might not see your crabs 99% of the time, and of the 9 species that I'm currently keeping, I have to say there are some of them that I haven't seen for 3 months or more. I know they're alive though because I've seen plenty of babies coming through, and I do occasionally see their legs sticking out of burrows. This is why I always suggest creating a beautiful ecosystem tank that you enjoy looking at and maintaining, with the crabs just as a little bonus that you get to see whenever they're feeling brave enough to come out. So if you do have kids that really want to get some vampire crabs, I highly suggest choosing a different pet, one that's more active and visible, because your kids will be pretty disappointed if they get some crabs and they never actually get to see them. Question 3. How do you make your vampire crabs less shy? Ultimately, there's no guaranteed method you can actually use to make your crabs less shy, but creating a natural environment with lots of places for them to hide will make them feel safe and does help a little bit, because they are more likely to pop out from time to time when they know they have a safe place to dart away to quickly if they feel in danger. So far, the only thing that actually does make a difference with vampire crab behavior and how shy they are is waiting for the next generation of crabs to be born in your tank. Most captive bred vampire crabs that are born and raised in a tank are generally a lot less shy and less likely to dart away if they see movement near the tank. This is one of the other reasons I'm able to get a lot of hand feeding footage of my crabs, as I've essentially been training them since they were super tiny little babies. So the more time you spend around your tank as your baby vampire crabs are growing, the more likely they are to be outgoing and a lot less shy. It's not always the case, but it does help quite a lot. That said, it only seems to reach a certain point of trust. I have 7th generation crabs here, and they're still only as trusting as the first batch ever was. Their awareness of their own fragility is ingrained to them on such a deep level that you will never get them to be fully trustworthy all the time. Sometimes I can hand feed my vampire crabs, and the same crab I will see a couple of days later will dart away as soon as he sees me. Question number 1. Why did my vampire crabs die? So this is the most common question I get asked about in my inboxes, and I get dozens of messages every day. And there's a lot to cover in this specific topic, so I've created a specific video that goes into all of the possible reasons on that, and you can check it out right here. Thanks for watching everyone, I'll see you in the next video.